Howdy, howdy. We're back to the stream, and this is in fact the first stream on the new streaming channel, the dedicated YouTube streaming channel. So if you're watching this on that channel now or in the future, um, you're part of something glorious and new. So thanks for stopping by. Today's project is to create the first of 3 map variants for the Blood and Bodies pack from last month. And basically, the idea is we're just going to gory up some old maps. And this map's pretty grim already. There's a basement full of bones down here. But I thought this would be a good start. I'm imagining, like, the story in my head is this is obviously the home of someone who keeps bones in their basement. So perhaps like a serial murderer, right? And I feel like maybe this basement, by the way, has a secret entrance. That's why there's nothing much of note up here. So I'm imagining that he got pulled in by the town guard, he got interrogated, but he managed to convince the guard that he was innocent, so they just sent him on home. But some vigilante who knows for sure it was him who killed all these people has come here and done some vigilante justice. So I'm imagining just like some kind of gruesome murder scene up here. Maybe we'll splatter some other gore around. Who knows? Yeah, it could be a bone devil or something like that. It's up to you how fantasy make it. But yeah, we're going for some kind of corpse from the old Blood and Corpses pack. So hello, Pen and Paper Pod, Cody. This is Photoshop. Tim. Yeah. G'day, mate. Thank you. I've just got my streaming software looking at Photoshop, so excuse me while I Alt-Tab. I'm going to go dig up... Well, I'm going to Alt-Tab every now and then to fish out some assets. But first of all, maybe I should start with a bit of layer organization. I think just put all this into a cabin layer. We'll call that an assets layer. And then we'll start working from here. I think we're going to use a fair amount of blood, so I'm just going to import all of these. And they start off exceedingly vibrant, but we'll put some filters over the top. It looks kind of fun when it's all piled up like this. There's more than I thought. Yeah, this is just Photoshop Cody. This is, as the name suggests, mostly for photos, but lots of digital artists use it for all sorts of purposes. They're a lot more flexible than Incarnate. Incarnate, you might build a map like this from a bunch of assets, but this one, if I find the right layer group, you can see I've started with line art, which I drew on pen and paper, and then colored it up with a bunch of layers. So yeah, this is an image editor. So I suppose technically Incarnate is also an image editor. They just have a very specific use case in mind. I do like the way these blood assets look. Anyway, let's put the blood down here. We're just going to come down here to the blood. We'll call it the blood palette. Like you got your painters, they have their little palette of colors off to the side. We'll just have a little palette of blood splatter. And then we can pick and choose which ones we like best. Sure are a few. I'm just going to delete this one. I don't think we'll use it. It's just going to be difficult to select. Now, I am suffering a bit of CPU lag, I think. My PC's just been struggling lately. I think it might be on its way out. All right. That's all of them, I think. Blood palette. Now I want to pick just the right corpse for the job. And I think I know which one I want to go for. I don't want to make this exceedingly brutal, you know. It's just going to be murdered guy. So, oh, hey, Ian, thank you. I couldn't tell you my rig, sorry, pen and paper. It's been too long since I bought it. I think I bought it around when The Witcher 3 was new. It's kind of to play that tier of games. Thanks, Tim. I've been making these since 2015. So yeah, I figured out a system for me that I enjoy. Excuse me, I'm halfway distracted by chat and halfway browsing my corpse library. Okay, here's one. Just import it somewhere else. Thinking the blue shirt variant so that he contrasts nicely with the blood. Yeah, Adam. It's not out on my website yet, but on Patreon, I just released a pack of about 200 different corpses. So if you're a fan of corpse map assets, it's a good time. And maybe this one. Maybe this variant without an arm. And then I have a separate arm somewhere. Hold on, I should be importing the bloody versions. Oh, here's a pretty good one too. Okay, let me find the bloody versions of these other ones. So it's commoner number 17. Commoner number 7. And adventure 10. And then I need the arm. Optionally. Maybe we could use this axe too. Tell a bit of a story. We can get rid of the very cartoonish bone, but I'm imagining something like this. Don't know why he's got an arm, just a glove on just one hand. Maybe he's an archer or something. Anything else I'm thinking of? I don't know, we can find a home for this skull. Right. So I guess the question, which one of these do I like best? And what kind of scene do I want to make? Maybe he was seated here having dinner, and then our vigilante steps in and fight breaks out. So that's why the chair's kind of pushed out. And then fight happens. We'll do some splashes of blood here and there. And then he collapses somewhere. Maybe he's leaning up against the wall, or like crawling towards the exit. That might be fun because we got a few smears. Could do like a, a little trail. I quite like that idea because, I mean, we could do a trail for this guy. Could stick the arm like over here and have a few clues in the blood splatter for what happened. Well, I'll just delete the assets that aren't my favorite. Kind of split between these two right now. Yeah, Cody, that seems like the way to go. I like the effect his knee has here. It looks like he's trying to climb out of this little fire pit area and just didn't have the strength. And that's where he stopped. Maybe the vigilante also died. Maybe it was like a eye. In which case we could have both. Got a sword next to him, optionally. So what am I thinking? He's like, okay, I slew the mass murderer. Now I see I'm mortally wounded. I guess I'll just lay down here and stick my sword in the floorboards. So let's size these a little better. Okay, so this is a 5-foot square. So if he were lying down completely straight, he would be a little taller than that. So they should be around this size. Don't you dare crash on me, Photoshop. Speaking of, how are these bones sized? Did I size these correctly? Yeah. They're good enough. Like the encounter I'm imagining, it's kind of like one of those zones in Fallout or any one of those open world games where you kind of walk into an area and there's all these clues as to what happened. Maybe there's a journal on the bed, etc., etc. But yeah, just a bit of environmental storytelling. And maybe your players are sent here in order to talk to the alchemist. Just so happens that the alchemist and the serial murderer are one and the same. You could write a whole murder mystery around that, couldn't you? And then, yeah, I mean, optionally, you could just have base map for when you first meet the alchemist, And then when they return, you swap it out for this map, and they're like, oh, dang. Where would I collapse if I were mortally wounded? Also, I'm not sure why he's missing an arm. Maybe his arm's just bent underneath him. Maybe we don't use this one at all. Maybe I use a different asset. Like this guy with an axe. Could be an interesting story. But he doesn't have the look of someone who was mortally wounded and then just succumbed to his injuries. This guy looks like he was slain. I think that's kind of cool, huh? We can either use a sword here or the axe. Oh yeah, something conjured. That could be cool. Oh yeah, the point Fox had. Yeah, if indeed these are all health potions, he would have tried to crawl over to them. And then again, you position him right, it kind of looks like he's interacting with the terrain here. Might go with that. Could like occlude his head there. Maybe that's a little strange. Hmm. You know, I could just manipulate this asset to look like it's his attached arm. Might have to flatten some of these layers. Photoshop's being frustratingly laggy right now. Oh, look at that, I have a moody version. Cool. I'll remember that I have that. Yeah, for now I'm going to flatten the entire cabin. Maybe when we get to editing that, I might drag it back in. Maybe that'll speed things up. Like a fighting gauntlet or something, you know? Ah, I just realized I have this adjustment layer, and that always slows things down. Speaking of, such a layer would be useful to blend these guys into their environment a bit. I'll turn it off for now. Okay, our blood's disappeared. Here it is. Hmm. And a skull. We've got plenty of skeletons in his secret basement, but maybe we put a little clue, tiny little clue somewhere that'll get your players to look a little harder. I guess it's not entirely strange for an alchemist to have a human skull floating around their house. I'm thinking of like Skyrim, where you're making potions out of human bones all the time. Yeah, he likes to keep a human skull nice and close while he sleeps. I'm thinking in the basement, right? It's not a display piece. There's some other purpose. Just resting down here. I think I'll start with the smear that this guy left. I'm imagining fight kind of taking place maybe all over the room. It's not very big, so we could have some subtle splashes where the mortal blows were dealt. I'm also going to darken the blood up at the end, so don't worry about it looking like paint for now. We've got some subtle splashes, plenty of those. Oh, it's deceptively hard to pick up. There they are. Yeah, we'll use a couple of these ones. This is a nice spray, general purpose blood spray. Let's keep a spare over here because this one I want to occlude. Is that the right word? Yeah, Cody, that's a cool idea. He could be collecting human bones in order to do some necromantic thing. I mean, ultimately, I'll leave those details up to the dungeon master. I'm just creating the battle map. Okay, that feels right. Okay, yeah, this is the kind of story I'm thinking of. Like the main fight took place here. They kind of dealt each other mortal blows at the same time. And then he collapsed because he couldn't walk, but he was trying to crawl away, I suppose. I mean, it's not even clear which one of these guys is the bad guy, so it could be either one. But I do much prefer the story of the bad guy trying to crawl away. Kind of more of a sad tale if the good guy tries to crawl away at the end rather than slump down triumphantly. Bittersweet victory. Now we got some pretty dramatic kind of slashes. Like this one here is probably the killing blow. good old sword swipe. Might keep it like cartoonish, right up to the point where I stop streaming, because I'm not sure what Facebook's policy is on this sort of battle map. Usually I'm just drawing nice little cabins. This one's a good one. You know, I was just recently playing Ghost of Tsushima. I think that's what I was kind of channeling when I was making these assets. Yeah, that there is definitely the killing blow. So now that took place, maybe he's crawling across the fireplace. That might kind of show this desperation. And we'll have it start out kind of thin, and then it gets the bleeding gets heavier the further he gets. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I'm like he probably started off by walking away, and then he collapsed somewhere over here, maybe tripped up on the fireplace, and then did a bit of crawling. So this is kind of, yeah, this is kind of a drag mark, isn't it? Maybe that should be over here. Yeah, that feels kind of right. And then it'll just be drippy drops up until there. Where are my drippy drops? Here's some drops. Okay, so he's kind of stumbling, falls over, and then we'll kind of thicken this up a bit too. I think that tells the story pretty clearly, right? That drag mark works for me. Just need some pooling. Something like that. I want to steal just this bit from this asset. So I've got 3 such map edits. Can't speak. 3 such map edits planned. We're starting with the Sinister Cabin. And let me refer to my notes. The other ones, I wanted to do the Woodland Nexus, which is, it looks like a ritual site or something. Like an ancient dark druid ritual kind of situation. And then the secret research facility is the last one I want to do. And that'll be kind of they were researching some kind of monster and the monster broke out and kind of like a Half-Life situation took place. I think that one's going to be probably the most fun. Maybe a small. Yeah, we basically just got to pile up the drippy drips now. If I use terminology like drippy drips, will it keep me from being flagged as making gory content? It'd be a real shame if I made this dedicated streaming channel and then it got banned for being too graphic. But I mean, gaming YouTubers are making like let's plays of hyper-violent games all the time. So I'm alright, aren't I? I'm pretty sure I'm alright. Like this isn't any Doom Eternal kind of stuff. Ah, probably better if I lose a brand new channel anyway. All right, yeah, this is where they traded blows. You know that iconic moment where they both take a swing and mortally wound each other at the same moment. I'm kind of imagining this guy's clinging onto life. Like he's not bleeding as much as this guy, so maybe if your players are fast enough, they can get here and save him. Oops, this whole time I've been duplicating the wrong layer. All right, maybe just a little bit more mess. Sorry, Patty. I did have the foresight to make the blood and bodies assets. When you open up the zip file, you'll just see the versions without any blood, and then the bloody versions are hidden inside a folder within there. So if you want some people who have just fallen over, then that's all right. Okay, in terms of weapons, what has happened here? I think let's just have, because this axe doesn't make sense to me. If this axe is here, why is this sword here? Unless he like, yeah, I don't want to get too descriptive in my words either. I'm thinking just two swords, so let's get rid of this sword. Then, bear with me. Maybe we can do this. Let's just hide the red stuff for now. Tomato sauce. And then I have some weapon assets in here. Okay, you know what? I think we'll bring the axe back. Did I delete that? Yeah. Does beg the question, what kind of combat took place that the axe is in his back? Um, but let's just play with it for now. So I'm imagining this guy was wielding a sword, and then after the fight was done, they traded their blows. This axe got stuck, and this sword just kind of fell to the ground somewhere. And then, yeah, the rest played out. Maybe the axe. Yeah, I'll catch you some other time, Patty. Later this month, we'll be drawing some stones and rocks and bricks. So that'll be much more tame. Yeah, I think this makes sense. Well, if it was his sword, maybe he dropped it on his way to the exit. Yeah, this is what I'm imagining. So no axe, as fun as that is. No axe there. We'll just have, because this guy was bittersweet victorious, right? So he was victorious. He slashed in the corner with his weapon, etc. But this guy lost, stumbled towards the door, and dropped his weapon on the way out. That makes sense to me. Maybe he drops it somewhere a little bit hidden. So it's like a little bit of loot. Nah. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this scene. And then we got these clues. Maybe just a little bit more drippy drips. Yeah, maybe this one should just kind of pull it all together. Right, so it's kind of a drawn out fight. Yep, let's darken this up. Actually, let's delete these extras. All organized in the same layer. What did I just delete? And with what's left, we can apply a filter that's going to make it look less like paint. Probably we'll start with vibrance, see how we go. Okay, it needs to be darker. That's clear. I think that's about perfect. Still got some, yeah, that's a good color. Hide that for now. Next step, let's blow out the candles and the oven. And to do that, I'm going to have to reload our cabin. So to do that, just reload this. Oh, okay. Hold up. Makes it much easier when transferring if I, oh, actually it should be fine. Right, is everything where it should be? Yes. And this one I will save. What do I want to call this variant? Crime scene? Um, call it bloody for now. Check. And I didn't make any other edits here, so this can go. Right, this is our canvas. So, just disable these annoying filters, which are slowing everything down. Lights. You were smart, Ross. See, when I originally made this map, I put everything in a very convenient layer group. I can just disable that. And if I remember right, we have a dark version here. Beautiful. So that's what I want to do. I want to darken the scene up. So let's just save it right now. I can duplicate it in case I hate the changes we make, because I want to see if I can lift this up above the assets. No, I think it's just going to be a matter of editing the assets separately. You know what I need to do with these two? I think this would be better if we make it like a multiply layer, darken layer. No, I take it back. We'll make these assets fit in when we get the rest of it looking good. I don't want it completely dark. Also, I had the idea of having a very dramatic ray of sunlight shining through this window and maybe over this guy. Yeah. All right. What's making this mask? You are. Yeah, we want a door locked kind of dark room, just with this window letting some light in through a crack. Yes, we'll start off with this. So yeah, we do want it to be over the assets as well. So maybe I should just make an all new dark layer. Okay, let's see what we can do. Right, well, that was pretty fast. Cool. Just want a dim light, right? Not complete darkness. Hmm. I had a macro running that was changing my Fs into a certain keybind designed to The layers. That's why all these layer names were funny. Okay, so did I just apply this here? Yeah. Then we have a light shaft mask, which is going to get us most of the way towards what I'm imagining here. And we'll just have this dramatic slash of light across his back. So that'll be the first thing you see when you step into this room, when your players load the map, whatever. And in fact, we might, in fact, go much darker, except for around here, so we can get that effect. But yeah, let's just finesse it and see. I'm not entirely sure this window would shine upon this wall exactly, but that seems right. The wall's not completely flat though. The log wall. Yeah, I got a pretty cool idea. Let's see how it plays out. Hmm. This is kind of how I just. It's kind of how I make anything in Photoshop. It's just layers upon layers upon layers, masks upon masks. This is a weird effect. Anyway, very strange glow right now. What are these streaks? Where'd that come from? Right, and this is the overexposed bit. So we got some kind of like a sunset outside, maybe. Yeah. And we can just kind of draw the eyes towards this corner. Not entirely sold on these dust particles. I think they need to be... Yeah, that looks better. Hmm. Oh, darn, I've obliterated what I had here. Hmm. Oh, never mind. I realized what happened. Anyway, this maybe should be... We're in the part where I'm just gonna continually adjust until I find something that's pleasing. Yeah, I think overlay is the way to go. Maybe this window doesn't shine all the way over here. Think about it. Yeah, that's a pretty cool composition. So that's the effect I want to have, is when you load this map before your players, they experience the same thing their characters might, where their eyes are drawn to this dramatic slash of light and they see, oh, somebody dead, and then as they scan the room, they're like, "Oh, there's blood everywhere, and there's somebody else." I think that's fun. So let's see what we can do about that. What is this mask for? All right. I want to see if I can't make this a normal mask. Just bear with me. Annoyingly, this is going to delete certain parts of the line out that we want to keep. Actually, it kind of worked. All right, I think this is having a kind of blending effect. Right, it looks like part of the decoration now. And what does it look like when we turn the tomato juice back on? Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. I like I like this glowing blood. It kind of works with the sunshine. Just ignore these other parts of the building for now. We're just focusing on this area. This the sun shaft just needs to be completely overexposed. So I can find it. Needs to be kind of like this, actually. All right, all right. Slowly remembering how to paint. We do want this to be like a searing white. And then we want to make a selection of our kind of cloud around it, wherever I put that. Low mask. So I'm going to hit save. It's been far too long since I did that. And underneath this glow, we'll make a separate glow. Which I don't want to contain in here. No, I know what's the problem. Right, we contain it. Wow, it's like an alien abduction's going down. But once we change this to like a nice warm color, yeah, now we're getting into the effect that I was looking for. It's also kind of casting a haze over the line art, which is really nice. Yeah, I'm just going to be more bold with this color. Thanks, Fox Hat. It's a slow process. My artistic process is very slow and very experimental, but it works most of the time. Yeah, we definitely want a warm kind of yellow. I think I duplicate this. This will be kind of the immediate glow around here. Maybe we'll blur that a bit. Mm-hmm. Where are you? Oh, I was adjusting the mask. It's way too intense right now, but give me a minute. Just push it all the way up and see how it looks. No, I think this is the winner for now. I'm so glad to hear it, Fox Hat. Yeah, our adventure up here needs a little bit of black line art in order to blend in properly. Hopefully I can get it done just with a magic wand. Yeah, less. A little bit more. Yeah, I'm just trying to help him stand out a bit. Hmm, something like that. It's much better. All right. Um, let's do some final adjustment layers. Also, am I content with this amount of glow? Seems right. Getting lost in my own layers. They're getting to be way too much. Yes, I can do some kind of ambient glow here. That's probably perfect the way it is. Now I want this kind of interior mask. I believe is here. Yep. Just ignore these for now. Ah, I've gone and crashed Photoshop. My Photoshop is doing the thing again where it crashes when I use the square marquee tool. Very frustrating. Wasn't too long ago that I saved. Let me just take a screenshot of this so that we can kind of work our way back here. Well, that's an unfortunate end to the stream, I think, but mark my words, we'll get back to this point before the next stream. In fact, next stream will probably be a new map. We'll probably jump onto the Woodland Nexus map or the Secret Research Facility map and do a whole new scene. Yeah, unfortunate end to the stream, but that's just the way Photoshop is sometimes. So big thanks to everyone who stopped by along the way. It's been fun, and I'll be back soon enough, so I'll see you then.